What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another WARFRAME video. So we have a new must-have primary on our hands with the Cedo Prime. This thing got buffed so much that it's honestly kind of staggering how many things were improved upon it. So we'll be showing some level 10,000 gameplay and some builds. As far as, is it worth getting? It definitely is worth getting for sure. But we'll be showing how worth it really is with these stat bumps, as well as these builds that definitely can crush level 10,000 in one hit. Also some discussion on what the best arcane would be on the Cedo Prime, because it does have some buffs, but some of these buffs might be a downside depending how you look at it. So let's get right into it. But before we do, make sure you sub this channel, do daily WARFRAME video uploads, build videos, news videos, discussion videos, all that kind of stuff in that place for WARFRAME content. And yeah, we should have a Lavos 10,000 video in the next couple of days as well. Ton of good stuff to cover in WARFRAME right now. Alright, so first things first. Let's see what the stat differences are between the Cedo Normal and Cedo Prime, because I wasn't joking when I said they buffed it a lot. It is a multitude of things on here that make it a lot stronger. And good stats too. So, we have the Cedo Prime's fire rate being higher than the Cedo Normal. It has higher base multi-shot on the primary shot. If you've never used the Cedo before, it's got a alt-fire shot that launches a glaive that does a bunch of procs. It's got a primary shot that's like a pellet shotgun that has good crit, but not that much status. They did buff the status, but it's still not that good a status, to be honest. But yeah, so you have more pellets on the primary shot, which means your multi-shot mods will get you even more pellets when you stack up enough multi-shot. It's got faster reload of 1.8 versus 2.2 on the old Cedo, and it's actually got more crit chance too, which equates to like 12% more crit chance on the build in the end. Pretty nice. And then also, it's got a lot more status chance on the primary shot, where the normal one had 0.3% per pellet. This has 2% per pellet. Still not that high, but it does help if you're using primary Crux, which might be recommended on one of these builds. Additionally, since it has one more pellet, it's going to be having higher base damage. We're not done, though. It actually has 5 times the crit chance on the glaive launcher as the normal Cedo, which means it can be a little bit more crit viable, which helps because you will be making a crit build for the primary shot, and it would benefit the alt-fire shot more if it had higher crit stats, which it does. It also has higher crit damage as well. So, as you can see, lots of good things were buffed. Base multi-shot, base fire rate. Now, when I said some of these buffs might be a downside, the fire rate going up means when you stack fire rate mods, it can really chew through ammo. So, here's my build. Now, as far as the Riven mod, these are 0.5 dispo Rivens, okay? So the Rivens for the Cedo Normal are higher sets of the Cedo Prime. So go ahead and put on Prime point blank if you don't have a Riven, and it will be basically exactly the same. But yeah, as far as the build here, we've got primary Crux. Since this thing has higher fire rate than the Cedo Normal, I've got primary Crux on here, less fire shots a lot longer. On weak point hit, gain status chance and increase ammo efficiency for 10 seconds, stacks of 10 times. Since it works per pellet and this thing has higher base multi-shot than the normal Cedo, it's easy 10x Crux stacks instantly. Now, since we have a lot of fire rate with Magnetic Strafe and also our companion using Reinforced Bond, this gun can jump around a lot. So keep in mind that you might want to change out Deadhead, the arcane for primary Crux, if you have a plus recoil Riven, or maybe consider using the counterbalance mod for shotguns, as that is going to reduce your recoil. Now, that being said, Vigilante Supplies is very good on this thing since it has more crit chance. It will give you more orange crits. So here we are not using any Nourish or anything like that. Now, we cast, so pretty good. Now, the Cedo has built-in Condition Overload, and since we're using Galvanized Aptitude, it's like double Condition Overload. So that can be pretty good. Go ahead and throw in Nourish, and it's easy one-shot on these guys. And of course, you can do that no Riven level 10,000, as long as you throw in a couple little buffs, such as the Tenacious Bond from the Panzervolpaphyla, or maybe Arcane Rage giving you 180% increased damage. Now, that's all well and good. So this is how it is with no recoil reduction. As you see, it kind of like jumps around the screen, kind of like shakes a little bit. Screen shake is turned off. But yeah, you can actually get this thing, if you get this thing to maximum recoil reduction, which I'm not going to say you have to do, but I'm just saying, so here it is with one recoil reduction mod. doesn't move that much, but when you put 2 recoil reduction sources on here, it's an actual laser. So keep that in mind. You could try that out. The damage fall of this thing is not improved from the Cedo normal, but it can be kind of nice as this is a full auto shotgun, and you will be firing a lot. That's actually why Crux is on there. So I would even say a minus recoil ribbon wouldn't be that bad if you want to have a laser pointer situation. But yeah, the build that was used in the video is going to be this one with Vigilante Supplies, which, whenever we get a crit, it can become an orange crit, and so on and so forth. 72% crit chance on our build. With a corrosive magnetic build, we can debuff enemies heavily. These magnetic procs are going to make enemies overguard get debuffed, and corrosive procs remove their armor, so we can, pretty much fully remove their armor pretty easily and shred them with a crit build. Now, you can use a status procer build as well with, magnetic, corrosive, viral from Nourish, radiation from these mods. A lot of procs here to get lots and lots of condition overload procs from melee. That's an option too. But yeah, I'm going to show you a quick meme Mesa build for this, where you can actually use Mesa's Augment. Now, it's not that much better than the normal version of the Cedo, but yeah, Mesa has a special augment for her first ability called Ballistic Bullseye, I think. It's something, yeah, Ballistic Bullseye. Buff the final crit chance of your weapon when you buff it up. So we go for this with the glaive launcher of the Cedo Prime, and it should hit really, really hard. We can actually even stack up Primary Frostbite for even more crit damage. Let's see if I can bother doing that. Okay, got some Primary Frostbite stacks. We're going to use the first ability, and as you see, it's been charged up. We release it, and it is a very, very hard-hitting glaive now, which can, definitely take out some high-health targets. And also, if you do it right, you can actually recharge your glaive, so there's the meter right there. So that meter is going to be increased as you damage. So you get that charged up. You can unleash the glaive, then recast the ability while it's midair to charge it while it's midair. See, it's already halfway charged. I didn't have to recharge it up. So that's a fun little thing you can do there. But yeah, it's a little bit on the more gimmicky side to do this build, especially when you have a fully min-max one. So yeah, really fun stuff either way to annihilate enemies with the Cedo. I'm gonna recommend that most players just use a normal build. Now let's talk about Deadhead versus Crux, which one you should use. So also, by the way, as far as the Revenant build, we do have Arcane Rage on here to increase primary damage on headshot, which is going to help with us having Crux as our arcane, so it doesn't give us as much damage. Also, Worthy Camaraderie, giving increased crit chance on headshot. Not enough to orange crit, unfortunately. If you had a crit chance from it, it should be enough. But yeah, if you have a couple of these, you'd be able to orange crit, no problem. Vigorous Swap was sometimes used. You basically swap from one weapon to the other, get a big damage buff, can help on this. And also Energy Nexus doesn't buff it at all, actually. Nourish gives us viral damage on our weapon. So that being said, we have viral, corrosive, and magnetic, and then the way the glaive launcher works, it's going to proc fire, ice, electric, and toxin. So we have so many procs. It has built-in condition overload. It's just really, really strong. So let's show some gameplay comparisons here as far as, what would be better for you. Should you be running Primary Crux to spam the shots, or should you be running Deadhead for more damage? So in the footage right now, you see this is Deadhead. Now, you will also notice the magazine is going down quite quickly. If I used to use Crux, I could pretty much spam the shots for a lot longer. But the thing about Deadhead, it is technically more damage. Deadhead gives you reduced recoil and also increased headshot multiplier. And since we're getting so many multipliers here, getting a headshot multiplier increase really, really helps for slaying out these max level enemies. So there's a Thrax right there, level 10,000. And they die in about 3 or 4 bullets. I definitely have gotten a 1 or a 2 shot with this build on the Cedo. But, at the same time, it is a weapon that is meant to be firing lots of bullets. You have 40-round magazine. I would recommend a fire rate mod because there's some pretty good fire rate mods nowadays. Also, the magnetic one's pretty good. If you want a full fire rate mod, like maybe the Vigilante one, that could give you some more crits. But yeah, you could easily one-shot level 10,000 trash ads with this, that's for sure. And I really do think it is the new best non-Incarnon Prime primary. I know that's a lot of criteria to say it, but yeah, it is no Incarnon. There will never be a Cedo Incarnon for that matter. So yeah, besides Incarnons like Latron, Burston, etc., this is the best Prime primary. It's MR15 required, so it's pretty high requirements anyway. But yeah, that increased crit makes those pellets a lot more consistent for crit chance. If you could proc Arcane Avenger somehow, you will be guaranteed yellow crits and then some red crits. Or excuse me, some orange crits. And then with Vigilante, it would be some red crits as well. So yeah, really, really good stuff here. The dual Zoran Prime is definitely good too, but it did not get buffed as much as this thing. Additionally, I can't really say this for a fact, but it does feel like the glaive launcher in Mission is like seeking enemies out maybe a little bit better than the Cedo normal. Can't confirm that, but I've had some players saying they feel that way, and I also kind of have noticed that as well. So as far as some other builds for it, the Cedo is very versatile. You can throw on 100 munitions. Maybe you think you don't need fire rate. The base fire rate is increased, technically. 100 munitions can be some extra slash procs, and since it has so much better crit than the normal Cedo, you can definitely give it a shot on that front. So yeah, I did do 2 different level 10,000 runs. This is the one with Deadhead. As you can see, lots of reloading. But with Crux, it's a lot less reloading, but a little bit less damage. Actually, a lot less damage, technically. But yeah, Crux gives you more status chance, which does not really affect the primary shot that much. Whereas the Deadhead gives you the multiplier and also increased damage too. It can be very, very good. So just doing a quick display of which one is going to be maybe better for you. Let's give a quick display of Crux here in the sim. Now keep in mind that at this level, these enemies do die in like, 5 bullets or whatever. Like, they're so much easier to kill than a max level enemy. But even at max level, with Crux, you are going to be killing them really, really fast. So, but at the same time, since it counts multi-shot, you're going to always have the max stacks of Crux, too. So since you've got that stack, we can literally spam this Cedo. And it has pretty good damage. Now, it doesn't have as good of damage if it was like, Shotgun Vendetta. I want to try Shotgun Vendetta on this one more, too. It doesn't have as good of damage as Shotgun Vendetta or Deadhead, or maybe even Merciless for that matter. But it does let us spam these shots and clear out crowds of enemies a lot better. So that's going to be Crux right there. As you see, the magazine was like halfway empty by the time we killed that group of enemies. But if we throw on Deadhead, it's going to be a lot more damage, and actually a lot better recoil, too, to have better, control of your weapon. But, yeah, we'll probably reload this thing like 4 times by the time the enemies are all dead. And I will throw on the buff, too, so. Throw out the glaive. That's a lot more damage. It is pretty much a guaranteed one-shot no matter what, as I say that. Guaranteed one-shot as long as they're procced up. But then once we have to reload the weapon, it's a 1.8 second downtime, which can be kind of annoying when you're like, going from enemy to enemy, reloading constantly. Another little quirky thing with this thing, if you got this far in the video, it does seem to reload all the ammo right away. So as you see right here, I push the reload button, it automatically reloads it. So you could actually reload cancel the Cedo Prime. I'm not sure if that's intended. It's probably not intended, but that is how it works right now. So yeah, definitely a top tier weapon, guys. It's a top tier procer in the primary slot. It's a top tier DPS weapon. It can do some AoE even if the enemies are low level enough. It just got pretty much it all. The only thing it doesn't really have is, I guess, red crit viability, I'd say. I would love to have a little bit more crit chance, and the Ribbons being 0.5 dispo is a bit on the sad side. But yeah, I'm actually extremely happy. First Prime Access of 2025, and we have a very, very top tier weapon here. So let me know how you guys feel with the Cedo Prime in the comments down below. What different about your build and my build? I'll see you again very soon, and have a great farm with Lavos and the Cedo. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.